Now for episode 2, Rapid Bay. Please donate. It's day 2 of my fundraising journey, and we've raised about $700 so far. So thanks to everyone who has donated. Now just at Rapid Bay, it's a lot nicer day than it was yesterday. Everyone's out at the beach having fun. So for the start of this video, I want to first pay my respects to the original owners of this land, the Aboriginal people, and specifically this area was Kaurna land. So the Kaurna people lived in this whole area of the Fleurieu Peninsula, and it was a perfect place for them because there's a good ocean in the background for hunting fish, and there was also lots of kangaroos, lots of emus in this area up in the hills, and a freshwater stream flowing down from the hills to the beach at Rapid Bay. I'm just going for a walk up here. They've got a giant cave here at Rapid Bay. I'll show you. There's a nice view of the beach. You can see Rapid Bay jetty in the background. It's nice and dark in here. I came in here once when I was a little kid, so I'm going to go all the way back to the back. Oh, it's tight. And it smells like wee. That's the end of it. As I pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land, the Kaurna people, also to the Aboriginal elders, past, present and emerging. Now in the background here is that cave at Rapid Bay, and it's part of one of their Dreamtime stories. So growing up, I used to love listening to all the different Dreamtime stories. So I'm going to read one of their stories now. It's the story of Chilbrooky's journey. Now this cave is, I think it's this cave anyway, is part of that story. So Chilbrooky is a great Kaurna man. He lived at a time after the Great Flood when the sea waters had risen and filled the Gulf of St. Vincent. The Kaurna people extended from Cape Jervis in the south to Christabrook in the north, from Mount Lofty Ranges in the east, and to beyond the beaches in the west. Chilbrooky was living at one of the summer camping places near Rapid Bay with his clan when an emu hunt was organised in the lands to the north, which is the Adelaide region, as there are many Kari there. Chilbrooky was a master of fire making and a skillful hunter. One day his sister Nangari's son, who was his much loved nephew, named Kulatui, and Kulatui's two half-brothers, Jurawi and Tetjawi, decided to go hunting. Chilbrooky did not want to go with them. He decided to move his camp to Brighton to fish, catching big hauls of kurari, which is salmon. The Kari hunters went north and moved across the open plains between Adelaide and Port Adelaide to drive the birds towards the Fleurieu Peninsula and trap them at the tip of the peninsula. While some birds got away, the hunt was successful. Meanwhile, Chilbrooky moved camp to a freshwater spring near the beaches at Kingston Park, and then went inland to hunt Kari for himself, and saw the fresh tracks of a male bird, which he decided to be his. According to custom, the first to sight the presence of game had the right to take it. After finishing his fishing, Chilbrooky followed the Kari's tracks south towards Selleck's Beach, where they turned inland. Gilbrookie decided that the bird would later come back towards the coast, so he travelled further south to intercept it. Kulatui had also come back down south and saw the Kari's tracks, followed them and then killed the bird, but he crossed Gilbrookie's footprints. In doing so, he broke the law. He should have known it was Gilbrookie's because he saw his footprints. Gilbrookie realised the bird was not coming his way and began to backtrack. He saw smoke from the fire and headed that way. Soon hearing Kulatui singing, whilst a cooking fire was being prepared with Jirawi and Tetjawi, Gilbrookie confronted Kulatui about killing his bird. Kulatui said he was sorry and apologised, saying he had not realised it was his uncle's bird, and so he offered him the meat. As Gilbrookie had some kangaroo meat with him, he only took some of the kari and went on his way. He had forgiven Kulatui for his mistake. As Kulatui was finishing the cooking, he checked its progress, and a burst of steam from the kari blinded him. Jirawi and Tetjawi rushed in and speared and killed Kulatui, reasoning that they had done so because of their elder brothers breaking the law in killing their uncle's bird. They then shared the meat with their own clan and told them what had happened. The clan then started smoke drying Kulatui's body before later taking it to Warrapari, which is the Sturt River, to continue drying the flexed body on a rack over a fire. But the brothers then made up a story to cover up what they had done, that Kulatui, in fear of Gilbrookie's anger, had gone elsewhere to hunt kari. Gilbrookie soon heard the false story, and also the people of Witjalung clan to pass on his forgiveness to Kulatui if they saw him. Although they knew of his death, the Witjalung concealed it from Gilbrookie, who then went looking for his nephew. Eventually, near where he had last seen him, he came across sugar ants on the tracks and saw they were carrying human hair and blood and red ochre. He realised his nephew was dead, and then saw where the body had been and the smoke drying had started. Gilbrookie, being a man of the law, had decided if Kulatui had been lawfully killed. He determined Kulatui had not been killed within the law and that he had to avenge the murder. He went and obtained some good spears and travelled north along the hills before making his way back to the coast and found out that there was a big camp at Warrapari. He first went to Wituwatanga to rest, and greeted there by the two brothers who still deceived him about Kulatui's death, blaming it on others who may have been from Adelaide Hills region. Gilbrookie knew that they were lying but did not say so. He went along with their deception. The next day they went inland to the camp at Warrapari, where Kulatui's body was still being smoke dried. In the evening they danced for the old man, Gilbrookie, who then sung the camp to sleep. He made sure all were asleep by calling out, but there was no response. Gilbrookie was a master at fire making. He used powdered morthy bark from the stringy bark tree as tinder and placed big piles of grass around the huts that they were sleeping in, leaving only a small gap at the entrance. Then using an iron pyrite stone and a piece of paldari, which is flintstone, he started fires at each pile of morthy tinder. Telling the fire to blaze up quickly, he cried out loudly, "You are all getting burned." When Jirawi came out, he speared him with a Wundidred spear, and then the same to Tetjawi. When he knew that they were dead, he pulled out his spears. In the morning, Gilbrookie carried Kulatui's partly smoke-dried body to the freshwater spring on the beach at Kingston Park to complete the smoking and for an inquest to be held. Many people gathered for the ceremony, and the names of the two killers and the way Kulatui was killed was confirmed. Gilbrookie then wrapped Kulatui's remains into a compact parcel and headed south to Patpanga, which is Rapid Bay, to place the remains in a perky, which is a cave. Along the journey, he stopped several times to rest, and overwhelmed by sadness at his favourite nephew's death, he wept, and where his tears dropped to the ground, a spring of fresh water welled up. This is how the freshwater springs along the coast at Hallett Cove, Noarlunga Beach, Red Ochre Cave, Port Wollonga, Sellex Beach, and Warina Cove came to be. At each place became a camping place. Along his journey south, Chilbrookie also punished others who had deceived him about Kilatui's death. He walked into the offenders' camps and speared 4 men as retribution. It was the right punishment to spear people in the leg. The people in the camp knew Chilbrookie was serious and took fright, some jumping into the sea and became various kinds of sharks, which we know as the gummy shark, the southern fiddler ray, the banjo shark, the cobbler carpet shark, the bronze whaler, and the cocktail shark. These fish then became totems of the Wichalang clan. Any others left in the camp also fled, and they turned into birds. Chilbrookie was there alone. Satisfied with what he had done after resting, he continued his journey. When he finally came into the right cave, he went into the darkness and found a rock ledge to make a small platform on which to place Kilatui's remains. He then went further in, travelling to the depths of the cave before coming to an opening further inland at Mount Hayfield. Saddened by these events and feeling old, Chilbrookie decided he no longer wished to live as a man. He travelled to Rosetta Head in the Ramangeri country, where he decided what to do. He saw a grey currawong, stalked it, killed it, and then rubbed its fat on his body and tied its feathers to his arms with hair string. He took to the skies and his spirit became a bird, the glossy ibis. Rapid Bay was also a great place for the Kaurna people due to its fresh water supply, its abundance of kangaroos and emus. And the tools they used to catch them were spears, clubs and boomerangs. Life was great for the Kaurna people, and then everything changed. Before this trip started, I headed down to the Maritime Museum to find out some more information. On the 8th of September 1836, Colonel William Light arrived to Rapid Bay, and he decided to name the bay after his ship, the Rapid. Colonel William Light was tasked to find a suitable place to build South Australia's capital city, Adelaide. And once William Light found Adelaide's plans, the location of the city was decided. He designed the city layout and the parklands next to the Torrens River. And now Adelaide is a city we all love to live in. With its abundance of churches, delicious wine and huge bowls. William Light and his crew sailed all the way from England over to Australia. Due to the confined spaces and poor hygiene, they brought over several diseases which decimated the Aboriginal population. Rapid Bay really is a beautiful place to visit. BHP constructed the jetty and the town to mine limestone to be used as flux in their steelworks. And now Rapid Bay Jetty is an exciting place to dive into the depths and explore the underwater world. And here, if you're lucky enough, you might be able to see the beautiful leafy sea dragon. If diving's not your thing, you could try some fishing and try catch a feed for your family. And if you just feel like relaxing, come down, go camping and chill on the beach.